Hi, so today I'm going to be talking about questioning, and there's a lot of different definitions of that and different things that you could question about, just about the world in general. Like, everything that we try to study has to do with questioning, Like, for example, you could be questioning, like, why certain things work the way they do, or you could be questioning if a certain solution will work or not. And, you know, basically every type of job or everything that we do in our life has to do with questioning every decision that we make, just everything. But today I'm specifically going to talk about questioning who you are, because that's something that I feel like resonates with me a lot, because I've been questioning myself lately, basically questioning who I am a lot. So, yeah. And although it's a good thing because it brings you to the answer, it's kind of an isolating process to question yourself, because, again, most of the time you don't really want to tell other people when you're like questioning things and trying to figure out who you actually are. And I don't know, it just can be like an isolating time, just because like people perceive you in a certain type of way, or because you haven't really like told them that, oh, like I'm think I might be this, but I'm not really sure. And or you might be trying to make a certain decision, and you might be thinking, oh, maybe I should choose this decision, but I'm not really too sure. And um yeah, it just like, I don't really blame other people, because it just like, like they don't really know. Like, again, like I don't really tell people when I'm like questioning things, because it just like, again, one, I don't really want to bring attention to myself. Like, I don't want to make a big deal out of something, especially if it might not even be true. And yeah, because if it's not true, then what was the point of like making a big deal out of it, Like, I don't want to like come across as seeking attention for, like saying who I am, but at the same time, like, I don't want people to misrepresent me. But yeah, that's basically the main thing. Is it could be isolating because, you're trying to figure out who you are, and you feel like just not having that identity really feels upsetting in a way. Like, it feels upsetting to not be able to, like, you sort of know that people don't know everything, and people don't, like, you aren't really showing all of yourself. And I know that's with me, I'm not really showing all of myself. People don't know all of me because I just don't feel comfortable sharing it, or I just don't want to make it a big deal. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I don't want to make it a big deal, but at the same time, it's something that I'm questioning. So yeah. Um, and this has to do with like multiple topics. I don't really feel comfortable getting into like all of them, but there is one of them that I feel more comfortable sharing, just because I feel like a lot of people who are in my life, or people who have met me, have seen me around, they probably could tell like something is up. in this sort of way that I'm about to speak about. So basically, I made a video about how I have sensory processing disorder, and now thinking about it now, reflecting on things, I'm debating if I might be autistic or not. Because, again, there was just some things in my childhood that pointed to it. Like, literally, like, one of my teachers in the 4th grade, she said to my mom, like, oh, maybe she should be put into a special ed classroom because of certain behaviors. I don't really know what certain behaviors they were, but my mom just described them as me feeling uncomfortable in the class. I don't really know. I mean, yeah, it's, and also, like, I looked at the diagnostic criteria for it just to see if it resonates with me, and I feel like it really does, because, well, one, like, you have to basically, you have to identify with, like, having social communication problems, and I feel like I have a lot of those, especially when it comes to initiating conversations, and also with eye contact. I'm not good at that. Like, I don't really see the point of eye contact, honestly. Like, I don't get why it's seen as, like, a rude thing to not give eye contact. Like, I'm still, like, listening to you and stuff like that. I just don't really want to look into the other person's eyes. Like, it creeps me out. So it just, like, yeah, like, I just don't understand why not giving eye contact to someone is automatically seen as, oh, you're some kind of serial killer or something. I'm not. I promise. I promise I'm not. I don't have bad intentions. I just naturally can't look at people. Even when I, like, try to. It's just like, yeah, like, I feel uncomfortable with this. I would rather just not have to think in social situations and just be myself and be able to, like, um, again, not go, how do I say this? I guess, like, a part of me wants to say, like, not mask in a way, but also I don't necessarily want to just live up to society's norms or something. Like, I want to just be able to live and breathe just like everyone else. Like, everyone else who's, like, you know, anyone who's basically not neurotypical, yeah. Anyone who's, like, neurotypical, or anyone who doesn't, like, have, like, like, an illness or a disability or something like that, like, they just get to live their lives as normal, like, without really even, like, thinking about it. Like, it just, like, they get to live freely and be themselves and live on their own terms instead of having to think all the time of, am I doing this right? Am I giving off the right impression? Like, they don't even have to, like, think about it. They could just do it, and it's completely normal. But I feel like with me, it just, like, it's so hard. Like, I feel like I'm I naturally come off as off-putting, basically, and I feel like in order to not come off as off-putting, I just have to put on this, like, mask in a way. I just have to, not even be myself. I kind of just had to shut down, which is why a lot of the time I am a quiet person, is because I basically have to shut down, and in order to shut down, I can't be myself. So, like, it's just like, dude, but even if even though I am a quiet person, like, people can still see through it because, like, outwardly, like, I can't stay still ever, and, like, I stim and stuff. So, like, people already see it automatically. And probably through my voice is kind of weird, so it's, yeah, I don't know. It's, I'm not saying like it's weird, like I just have low self-esteem about it. So, which I know I shouldn't. Like if I heard someone else with my voice, then I wouldn't really care at all. Like I would, like obviously like I wouldn't want to make some fun of someone else's voice, so why should I make fun of mine? But or think mine is weird or something, but at the same time, it just like I feel really insecure about it because I feel like I'm not taken seriously ever. Anyway, yeah, so questioning that, I have to get back on topic. So also to add on, um, what was the other diagnostic criteria? Oh yeah, there was this thing where basically you had to show like I think like 2 signs of stuff or something. Like it had to be at least like 2 symptoms or something, and it kind of said like, oh, hyperactivity to like sensory stuff, which I do have because again, one, I have sensory processing disorder, and I like I definitely feel like I'm overly sensitive to noises. Like as a kid, I I like covered my ears when flushing the toilet because it was so loud to me. Like it bothered me so much. And I still have some more things where just like certain noises are just I can't handle it at all. And it just like I when I hear like any sort of noise that triggers me, I just want to tell it to shut up. But I know I can't really because like it's not like I'm going to tell someone shut the fuck up, Like I mean, I don't want to be that rude, but like that's what I'm thinking in my head, like please shut up. But yeah. Or like if like a certain like noise comes up, then it just like, can this noise please stop? My head just feels so like jumbled now because of it. But yeah, another thing is special interest. I was talking to my friend who's autistic, who's actually got like diagnosed for it and all that jazz, but I was talking to her about it because like we like text each other every day pretty much because she wants to, and um the topic got brought up of I might be, and basically with special interests, we were basically like I was talking to her trying to figure out like if something was just a hyperfixation or a special interest, and she said that with mine it's most likely a special interest because it's been like going on for longer than just like a little bit. Like it's been something that I've been hyperfixated. I mean, not hyperfixated, that's not the right word. I've been fixated on for like months or so. Um, yeah. It's something that I've been fixated on for like a couple months or so. I don't The thing is though is that I didn't really know it was a special interest because I don't really do like extensive research on it when I feel like you know when I feel like with other people who actually have the disorder, like they basically they're them to like research it a lot and find out facts about it and talk about it all the time, and I don't really do that. And maybe a part of it is just because I'm masking it or like kind of like like suppressing those feelings in a way, because sometimes I do get the urge to like learn about it more, but I just or something like that, but I just suppress it, or I feel like in social situations, I can't really talk about it just because it just like I would probably like bore the crap out of people. But it's yeah, basically what how I developed this interest. I'll tell you what is basically it's on quarters and like the historical backs of quarters. So I'm trying to find it. Oh, yes. So here is a quarter, and then this one has a historical back on it or something. I don't even know. I don't even know if it's gonna focus, but yeah, this is like le quarter, and yeah, it's a quarter, and it has a historical back on it. It's Eleanor Roosevelt Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and basically I really like looking at the backs of quarters and sometimes researching them, and I literally just farted. Okay. Hopefully you didn't hear that, but okay. Anyway, that was random. But yeah, basically I like researching them, and sometimes I'll see on eBay that they're selling certain quarters for like I don't know, like $500 because it has some sort of like defect on it, and I just find it so cool how like one quarter can literally cost like so much, and also just like the history behind quarters and just like the backs of them, like why it's significant or like what if it's like a certain like state, it's just like, oh, like what's like the certain place that the back of this quarter is based on, and why did they choose it for this quarter, or just kind of learning about like different things having to do with quarters. Like for example, I learned one time while I was researching that basically this quarter, like it's kind of like a sandwich, like I forgot the exact term, but like basically there's like it's like two little like silver, like that acts as kind of like the bread or something. I don't even know, but then there's like this copper inside it or something. I don't even know if you could see it, but yeah, like if you look at a quarter, then you could see some like copper thing inside it, and yeah, like apparently that's used in order to like stick them together and stuff like that, and it's just like really cool to learn and all that jazz. So yeah, this one says 2013 D. I don't even know what D means, but I don't know why they even have a D on here. It's fine. I'll have to look it up at some point, but yeah. I basically developed this though because I was feeling like really upset because of some personal things out of my control that have happened, and I was at the dining hall of my college. This was around like September, October, one of those. But basically, I was just sitting with my group of friends, and I was feeling a bit like sad and randomly. And then I decided, since I had like my purse with me, to just like look inside it, and then I grabbed out some quarters and I decided to pass the time to look at the backs of them to kind of like get my mind off of things. And then I basically like looked at them, and it automatically made me feel better. So I was just like examining them, and then that's how it all started. Basically, was like basically these little quarters, they help me feel better, so therefore I love them now. They're my little babies, but yeah. I'm gonna have to collect more of them, and there's also like these I think one of my like brothers or my family had it, where there was these quarters this quarter, like, collecting book or something, and it basically had like slots where you could put like certain quarters that you collect, and you're supposed to collect them all, kind of like Pokemon or something. And basically, yeah, but that was pretty cool. I wish I could find that, because it just like, I want to see the quarters. Hopefully I could find it at some point, because it just like, I want to see me some quarters. I want to research them. I don't know, but yeah, like, I remember actually one of my friends from college, she gave me a quarter, and I don't know, like, it just like randomly made me happy, and I was just like, I don't know, like, so happy about it that I literally still have it in this wallet that I have that she gave me too. So it's just like, yeah, like, I love quarters. So if anyone like ever gives me one, like, even if it's just that as a gift, then holy shit, I will love you forever. But yeah, anyway, yeah. And maybe I could get some moolah from it, if you know what I'm saying. Like, maybe one day, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Back to the topic of questioning. Yeah, I think I might be autistic, but I don't know, really. And it's a bit isolating, because sometimes people are like, nah, you aren't. Like, you aren't, when I tried to tell them that I think I might be. And it just like, I don't understand. It's just like, dude. It makes me question things even more. But you know, it's fine. Yeah. That's like the hard part about it, is you never know how other people are going to react to you questioning things, or how they're going to react if you actually are that thing. And it's scary to know, because it's just like, you know, these people might not even like you because of who you are. They just like you because of the perception that they have of you, and it's kind of sad. So yeah. Yeah, I just, like, questioning could be a very isolating thing in a way, but at the same time, you know, I see the beauty in questioning too. Like, it gets me closer to who I actually am. It gets me closer to really like accepting myself, and being able to be in an identity that I actually feel comfortable with, and that I actually like resonate with, instead of like trying to live in denial and as this person who I'm really not, but I'm just like being this person because I'm trying to please other people, which shouldn't be the case, because I'm never going to be happy if that's the case. So therefore, that's why I'm questioning who I am, is because I don't want to live my whole life being like, well, you know, like, I don't want to live my whole life suppressing everything that I really like start to wonder, like, like, maybe this certain thing does resonate with me. And that goes with like a lot of different things about myself, but I'm not really going to get into those right now. But yeah. That's basically like the whole video that I'm spoke. Thank you for listening and all that stuff. And just know that I accept you for who you are. I truly do. And yeah, that's all, folks. Goodbye.